Hi, Ram students, welcome back. Hope all of you had a very safe and a memorable Diwali. Yes, so now we are back after our Diwali vacations and we'll be going ahead with our syllabus. Today we'll be starting a new lesson in civics. Okay, now before we start, let's have a look at this. Okay, over here you can see there are pictures given. Education is our right. We must get the assurance of a minimum wage. It is our right. We have a right over our forests and its resources. Now you can see in all these three placards which are there. So right is the word which is lot of emphasis is given over there. So what is this? The children are asking, students are asking, education is our right. Over here, labor is asking that we have the right to get minimum wages. And you can see the ladies from the forest, they're telling that the forest is their resources and they have the right over the forest and its resources. So what does this meaning of right is? What is the meaning of right? That is what we are going to learn in our lesson today. That is chapter 4, fundamental rights. That is the first part we'll be learning. So what are we going to learn in this? Okay, let's see chapter number 4 of civics, fundamental rights. Okay, we get rights at birth. Every newborn baby has a right to live. Okay, now see, whenever a child is born, each and every human being, every living thing has the right to live. So when we are born, we get rights at birth that we can live a peaceful life, a harmonious life. The entire society and the government take efforts to ensure the baby is in the best of health. Okay, so it is the responsibility of the society as well as the government that the baby which is born is healthy, it has the best whatever it can be given to lead a good life. One has a right to develop his or her skills in a conducive atmosphere. The Indian Constitution has guaranteed equal rights to all citizens in order to create a conducive atmosphere. And these rights are called fundamental rights. Now, so what are the fundamental rights? Now, in according to our constitution, we know what is a constitution. So according to the constitution, each and every individual has the right to entitled to the fundamental rights and also the responsibility of fulfilling the fundamental duties. So what are these fundamental rights? The constitution has guaranteed the development of the citizens, the rights of all the citizens, equal rights to all citizens in a conducive atmosphere. So these rights which are being given to the citizens of India, they are called as the fundamental rights. Nobody can deny us from getting these rights or fulfilling these rights for us. So what are we going to learn? For our rights are mentioned in the Indian Constitution. As these rights are mentioned in the Indian Constitution, they have the status of law, and it is imperative for everybody to abide by these rights. So whatever rights we have been given, it is mentioned in the Indian Constitution, and they have the, since it is mentioned in the Indian Constitution, they have the status of a law. Okay, and it is imperative means it is compulsory for everybody to abide by these laws. Yes, abide by these rights. It is compulsory. It is, you have the right, entitled to all these rights. Nobody can deny you from attaining these rights. That is according to the constitution. If anybody is trying to deny you those rights, they are they are going against the constitution, they are going against the law, so it is a punishable offense. First right, right to equality. Now, what do we mean by right to equality? Let's see. Right to equality means, according to this right, the state cannot discriminate among citizens as superior, inferior, or as men, women, and cannot give different treatment or privileges to anybody. The state means the government. Okay, so the government cannot discriminate, cannot differentiate among the citizens based on their gender, based on their superiority, or even based on their caste, religion, creed, whatever. So equal treatment is to be given. It cannot be partiality cannot be followed over here, or special treatment been given to some section of the society, or privileges to be given to anybody. Equal rights, equal opportunities for everybody. The same law applies equality to all. So it's similarly for all. Not only the government, even the citizens have the right to respect the rights of the other people. Now, for example, if I am a citizen, I am entitled to these rights which is given according to the constitution which I have. So similarly, other people will also have, other Indian citizens will also have these rights. So I have to respect the rights given to these citizens. The state cannot discriminate against any citizen on the basis of religion, caste, race, gender, etc. Okay, so here we can see the state means the government cannot discriminate any citizen based on the religion. You're from this religion, you're from this caste, you're this race, color, even your gender, men, women, no differentiation, no discrimination based on these criteria. Next, the inhuman practice of untouchability that was prevalent in our country has been abolished. Okay, now untouchability means like there was achut, people were there, they used to call this untouchables. Yes, so these people, this untouchability has been abolished. It is an offense if you practice untouchability now. Okay, so it has been abolished in our country and it is no more practicable at all. It was abolished in order to establish equality in Indian society. See, because there were people who were discriminating based on this. Yes, they are from the higher caste, they are from the lower caste. So to bring about equality amongst everybody in the society, the government decided to abolish this practice of untouchability. The constitution has also abolished titles that create an artificial hierarchy among people. For example, titles like Maharaja, Raja, etc. all have been abolished. Okay, so in the earlier times when there were these princely states, there were these rulers, kings and queens, so they were being entitled as Raja and Maharaja. So all these titles, which create an artificial hierarchy among people, it has also been abolished. Okay, so why was it abolished? To bring about equality among the citizens of the country. Next, right to liberty. Liberty means freedom. We all know liberty means freedom. We all like to be free. We don't want anybody to have do not be in the clutches or in the shackles of slavery or in under any imprisonment, right? So right to liberty, what does this right to liberty mean? Right to liberty, it gives a guarantee of all the freedoms necessary from the point of view of the individual. As Indian citizens, we have the right to. So what are the rights to liberty which we have? Freedom of speech, freedom to assemble peaceably, freedom to form associations or unions, freedom to move freely within the country, freedom to reside and settle in any part of the country, freedom to practice any lawful profession or any occupation or business. So the right to liberty gives us these freedom which we have been entitled to. So we have the right to freedom of speech. Yes, we can express ourselves. We have the freedom to assemble peacefully. We have the freedom to form associations or unions. We have the freedom to move freely within the country. Within India, nobody can stop you from going to any place. So it is your country. Freely you can move within the country wherever you want to go. Okay. Freedom to reside and settle in any part of the country. It is according to my wish, I can go and settle anywhere in any part of our India. Yes, I want to go and have house in West Bengal. So nobody can stop me from doing that. Yes, so I have been been given the fundamental right to reside and settle anywhere in India. I have the right to practice any lawful profession or any occupation or business. So nobody can deny me from starting any business. Lawful, it should be lawful within the framework of law. No illegal practices. So any lawful profession, any occupation or any business according to my efficiency. Also to freedom to assemble peacefully. I can have my business of my own. I can form associations or unions. So all this freedom has been given to the Indian citizens according to the Constitution. The right to liberty now also includes the right to education. Okay. Now this is particularly for the children age group between 6 to 14. Okay. All the children between 6 to 14 years of age are entitled to get education as a fundamental law, as a fundamental right. This ensures this ensures that no child will be deprived of education. The right to liberty also includes right to education. So it is for the age children between 6 to 14 years of age who are entitled to get education as a fundamental right, and this ensures that no child will be deprived of education. So all the children who are of the age from 6 to 14 have to get compulsory primary education according to the right to education. Now, according to this also, according to this right to education which we saw, this was a right also to bring about the rights of the children, yes, so that they could not be used as child labor. That is what we'll be learning in our next right, that is right against exploitation. Okay, well, you can see article 23, prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor. Article 24, prohibition of employment of children in factories, etc. So every citizen has a right against exploitation, prohibiting all forms of forced labor, child labor, and traffic in human beings. Okay, now let's see what is right against exploitation. This right implies the right to prevent exploitation. Now, what you must be wondering, what type of exploitation all these include? Exploitation includes bonded labor, child labor, less wages, denying legitimate compensation, starvation, etc. Okay, so this right against exploitation means you are being exploited, your human rights are being dishonored, they are being exploited. So it can be bonded labor. Bonded labor means whereby you are as a slave you're working. Child labor, as I told you, children should not be forced to work under unhealthy conditions in hazardous places, dangerous places. So it is illegal to have child labor. Less wages also, like, see, in the beginning of the lesson only we saw that the laborer wants minimum wages for his work, so that if you are according to the work which you are being doing and you are being paid less, yes, so that is also a type of exploitation. Denying legitimate compensation. Okay, so legitimate compensation means, suppose for example, when during working hours in a factory, if person there is an accident occurring over there, and the worker has to get some sort of compensation. So if this compensation is being denied, so it is right, it's a type of exploitation. Starvation also, all these are exploitation. So this right against exploitation it implies the right to prevent all these types of exploitation. This right enables us to stand up against any kind of exploitation. So as the citizens have the right against exploitation, and we can fight for our right against this exploitation. Okay, while the constitution has banned all types of oppression through the right against exploitation, it has made special provision to prevent the exploitation of children. Okay, it is prohibited to employ children under the age of 14 years. Children cannot be employed or made to work in factories and mines. Okay, so according to the constitution, there are certain types of oppressions which have been banned, and special provisions have been made for children. So that is the right for that is against the child labor. So it is prohibited to employ children under the age of 14 in hazardous places, as I told earlier. So children cannot be employed or made to work in factories and mines, because these are dangerous places where accidents, there is every possibility of accidents to be happening, yes, in factories and even in mines. So that would be dangerous for the children if they're working, and also they are being denied of their right to get education, isn't it? So this right against exploitation for the children was brought about to abolish child labor. Child labor has been abolished worldwide, not only in India. It has been abolished worldwide, because we have to understand that these children, they are the future of the nation, isn't it? If these children are exploited, the nation will not develop. Yes, so for the development of the nation as well as for the development of the children also, child labor has been abolished. It is a criminal offense. Anyone who is following child labor is punishable by law. Okay, so here we learned about how children are also important for the society. Yes, because it is according to this, it is at this time, it is a crucial time for them, and very important time for them to learn new things rather than working and earning wages, or rather than they are deprived of the childhood which they are entitled to. Yes. So here we can see child labor, stop child labor, and school is the best place for the children to work. Yes, because they will work according to their age, isn't they will work according to their efficiency over there. Okay, so where child, let the child work according to his or her efficiency, according to his or her creativity, and end this child labor as well. And then we have the bonded labor. You can see where it is a type of a slavery. Okay, so this all these exploitations, they deprive, they deny the citizens of their basic rights. Fine. So this is what we have learned in our today's lesson. We learned about the right to equality, right to liberty, right against exploitation. Fine. This is the first part. Chapter 4 is the first part of fundamental rights. The part 2 will be learning in the next lesson of civics. Yes. So I hope you have understood this, children, and you have to understand this, because you as citizens, for this future citizens of India, are entitled to enjoy these rights as well. Yes, children, and also let others also enjoy, respect their rights. Yes, if you respect others rights, you will also be respected in return. Yes, so that's all for today. Thank you, children. Sai Ram, have a great day.